Today, we're diving into a tremor in the Iranian desert that's sending shockwaves way, way beyond the seismic scale. What looked like a simple geological event has quickly become a massive geopolitical mystery, and we are going to break down exactly why.
So the moment the earth shook in Iran, this one single chilling question started echoing in war rooms from Tel Aviv all the way to Washington. Was that a natural earthquake? Or was that the sound of Iran crossing the ultimate red line? And look, this isn't just wild speculation. It's a possibility that has the world's intelligence agencies on absolute high alert.
So why is this being taken so seriously? I mean, why isn't it just being dismissed as a conspiracy theory? Well, it's because the evidence, both the scientific kind and the circumstantial kind, it paints a picture that is, frankly, disturbingly plausible. Let's dig into the case for suspicion.
Okay, this slide right here gets to the absolute heart of the scientific suspicion. On the left, you see the seismic signature of a natural earthquake. You know, it's a messy, rolling wave that's tectonic plates grinding against each other. But on the right, you see the signature of an underground explosion, a single, sharp, sudden spike. The data that came out of that Iranian event, it looked dangerously similar to the one on the right.
And then there's the timing, which provides a really powerful motive. Just look at this rapid escalation. First, an attack on a key nuclear facility, then the death of the supreme leader, and finally, the quake. When you look at it in sequence, it starts to look less like a coincidence and a lot more like a potential response, a desperate, powerful statement from a regime that feels like it's been backed into a corner.
And this quote, wow, it just perfectly captures that mindset of defiant desperation. It's the logic of a regime that feels like it has nothing left to lose. If we go down, we're taking you with us. And that is precisely the kind of thinking that could lead someone to rationalize the ultimate gamble of a secret nuclear test. But you know, this isn't just about Iran and its immediate rivals. No way. An event like this pulls the entire world onto the chessboard, with every single major power having a stake in what happens next. But could Iran even pull this off alone? That's the huge question. I mean, take a look at the potential allies on this slide. Russia would absolutely love a U.S. distraction from Ukraine. China would much prefer America's focus shift away from Taiwan. And North Korea? They're basically the world's leading experts in secret nuclear programs. Any one of them might see a huge strategic advantage in helping Iran challenge American power.
And really, when you boil it all down, it comes to this. A nuclear Iran completely upends the balance of power. The threat of conventional military action from the U.S. or Israel, it's suddenly neutralized. The entire strategic calculus of the Middle East just shifts, and definitely not in the West's favor.
Now, it's really easy to dismiss all this as just some distant conflict, but the fallout from a nuclear Iran would have truly global consequences. It would affect every single one of us. Let's take a look at how. Okay, one of the most immediate impacts would be on your wallet. A massive chunk of the world's oil flows right through the Strait of Hormuz, which is this narrow waterway that Iran pretty much controls. If a newly nuclear emboldened Iran decides to shut that down, you can expect oil prices to surge past $100 a barrel like almost overnight.
So yeah, that means soaring prices at the pump, for sure. But it's also so much more than that. It means thousands of foreign nationals, we're talking students, doctors, business people, are suddenly trapped in a potential war zone. And beyond that, it just injects a massive dose of instability into the whole global system, dramatically increasing the risk of a much, much wider conflict.
Okay, so we've laid out the whole case for suspicion. But what are the official bodies and the seismic experts actually saying? Let's try to separate the hard evidence from all the high-stakes speculation.
Right, let's break down the competing theories here. First, you've got the nuclear test theory. The evidence is that sudden seismic jolt, but officially it's being called a social media rumor. Then you have the official view, a natural quake, based on its depth and, crucially, the fact that no radiation was detected. But then there's this third, more subtle possibility, psychological warfare.
This is the psychological war theory. So Iran may not have actually detonated a bomb, but they might want the world to think they did. It's a calculated bluff. By letting this ambiguity hang in the air, they can sow fear and confusion among their enemies and test how they'll react, all without actually crossing that nuclear threshold. It is a very high-stakes game of geopolitical poker.
So, we are left with this deeply unsettling uncertainty. Was it simply nature at work, or was it a dress rehearsal for a global catastrophe? The truth is, right now, nobody outside of Iran's absolute inner circle knows for sure.
And that leaves us here, with the entire world just watching. Spy satellites are scanning the Iranian desert as we speak. Sensors are sniffing the air for the slightest trace of radioactive particles. And if that evidence is found, the world we all woke up in today will be a very, very different place tomorrow. The next few nights, they're going to be long.